Joining us now is Mr. Tim Hatamian. He's the CEO of a company called Plumco. Plumco is a subsidiary of Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation. SIRC is their stock symbol. Tim, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Donald.
Well, Tim, tell us a little bit about your background.
Surely. I'm actually a physicist by trade, and I've served on the faculties of State University of New York and later on California Institute of Technology, which is in Pasadena. In 2005, I saw energy efficiency services as a great business opportunity in California, specifically due to power shortages and whatnot. It's obviously continuing. And so we formed our company, Plumco, as an energy services company, and that's sometimes known as an ESCO. Fast forward about 7 years later, due to our good performance, our company was recognized and qualified by the Department of Energy, U.S. Department of Energy, in 2012. The number of companies on that list is only a few dozen. They're all very, very major names. So that's a badge of honor. The same year, 2012, we decided EV charging infrastructure is going to be a major ground floor opportunity for us to be in. We were kind of thinking, since we're not in the manufacturing business, nor do we make the cars, something like Dell company did for PCs in the 90s, an integrator of, of a great import, not just one shop making little items here and there. So we started leveraging our existing name recognition and some long-term contracts that we had with the federal government to establish our presence. And we managed name recognition and multi-year contracts with California state government in 2016, a few years later. So all that effort is paying off pretty well right now in a good way, because again, the name recognition and especially relationships that we've created is bringing us a lot of new major opportunities that require our full portfolio of products and services. We're actually the one unique ESCO that's also in the EV charging business, so we can put energy services together with EV charging. We're looking at several nice sized projects that want to improve a whole building and add EV charging to it. And another result of all this, previous years of work has been the major manufacturers are constantly more and more aware of us and want to just approach us to partner with us. We received several proposals of exclusive relationships, but until now we're still standing neutral as far as brands are concerned, because of the industry is quite volatile and we don't know what the future will bring.
Well, how has Plumco progressed after the merger with Solar Integrated Roofing?
We are getting along really quite well with SIRC. The company, especially Dave Massey, have been very supportive of us staying strictly within the course we plotted with a new business plan that we wrote in 2018. And its main goal was essentially expanding the share of revenues from EV charging in our overall pie of revenues and a few other major milestones. So because that coincides with SIRC wants, we've done very well with them.
Well, it looks like California's passed a $3.5 billion bill for EV charging networks. And what effects is that going to have on the company?
Well, it's obvious. If it really comes to pass, it'll be a major target for us to pursue, and we're well positioned because the state knows us extremely well and all kinds of other things in our own neighborhood. But it's going to be short-sighted to think running a business in California is life on the easy street by any stretch. Just because there are opportunities doesn't mean it's going to be, get all excited about. I come from a hedge fund risk management background, and that tells me that be very careful in getting hooked on any one trough to feed from, no matter how attractive that place is. So we're always, as we have been last 16 years of operation, looking at major new opportunities in commercial world, industrial, multi-unit dwelling properties, municipalities, certainly schools are very friendly to us, and other states. We're talking several big programs in Oregon and Washington State. And of course, not least the federal government, our favorite customer, to supply both products and services to integrate EV charging infrastructure and anything else that goes with it.
Well, what do you see happening in the EV charging industry over, say, the next 5 years? Will you be able to grow at the rapid pace and volume anticipated?
Obviously, there's going to be several phases. Currently, we're in a little bit of a tidal phase of interest, tidal wave of interest, and it's going to last about 2 years is my expectation. Towards the end of that 2 years, there's going to be considerable consolidation among manufacturers. And in that same time frame, Chinese products are going to become a lot more competitive than they are now. So they're going to improve their products and force the price down. That's good news for adoption. And also the costs of administrative services, such as transaction processing and data collection, data monitoring, energy monitoring, and all that. Currently, I think they're all too expensive, and that's not helping adoption. So those service providers that cannot compete on price, as more and more of them are cropping up, and remember, it's just software. They will disappear, so there'll be some consolidation there, or just a lot of network providers will disappear. I think a good analogy, a parallel, is the dot-com bubble of the year 2000, roughly. It was so much proliferation, and then people realized, there's a lot of junk out there, so they just crashed in a way. So we should expect something of that sort in something like 2, 3, 4 years. For our part, on the physical side of the infrastructure, things certainly won't be easy because competition is cropping up by the day, and similar to the dot-com bubble again. But we will, and as we have successfully in escrow business and other things, maintain an edge by always looking about 1 to 2 years ahead. We're gradually leaving the low end of the market to the small-time operators, one-trick contractor types, and look for larger and more sophisticated projects. Specifically, since you asked about the pace, it does seem to be a challenge right now because quality labor is in tremendous short supply. We're just having a heck of a time. And I don't expect that to go away until Q4. And it could even go on beyond that with various factors kicking in the economy. But we are doing our darndest to keep pace with this tidal wave.
The company's Plemco, they're a subsidiary of Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation, stock symbol SIRC. This is a very informative and exciting interview, Tim. Thanks so much for joining us on the program.
Great, happy to be here.